talking about. Straight in there. Alright YouTubes, in today's video we've got a lovely Honda in with some beautiful factory paintwork. So I'll give you a quick look at it. It's a Honda HRV and it's a pearl white. I think it's called Odyssey white, something like that. As a lot of you may well know, Honda paint's horrible, and it's still factory paint on it, and it's all flaking off. So it's all coming off the roof, off the pillar, top of the door, and probably potentially could come off anywhere. So bit of a risky job this. So yeah, we've blasted off with the airline as much as would take off. It's sort of biting a little bit now, so gonna get all that paint off the roof. Bit of a pain because it's got a pan roof in it. We've managed to pull the rubber away and drop the sunroof part of it down. Be a lot of work to get that out, so we should be able to get around it. So we've got to paint this roof, obviously, this camp rail. We've had the windscreen out of it. It's going in there as well. This door, so it'll be down this camp rail into this quarter, this door, blend this front door. There's always a risk of masking panels around it, whether it's going to pull any more off. And then the same on this side, bit on this camp rail, bit down inside where the windscreen is, and then yeah, hopefully we can blend into the quarter. It seems to be on the tops it happens, so sun has got to it, I suppose, and it's all coming off. A couple of dents to take care of here and there. So I'll just film a bit of the preparation on this. It's going to be quite boring, to be honest with you. So I'm going to take all that down, start with 120, I think, see how well it comes off. It should come off when paint's gone all brittle and deteriorating and breaking away. It normally sands off quite easy. I'll get all this paint off. Hopefully it starts biting on the sides, so I can feather it out, knock it off with 120, finish it off in 180. There seems to be quite a common thing on a few manufacturers with paint coming off from factory, clear coat coming off. But if I give you a look at the paint on this, you know, there's barely any paint on it. The finish is just awful. It's almost like a satin finish, not even gloss. You could just tell there's hardly any paint on that at all. The finish is dry and thin looking, and yeah, the paint seems really brittle. There's just no adhesion to this electrocoat on there. I think yeah, with the sun on it and stuff like that, over time it's just failed. So God knows what it'd be like in a hot country. Probably be coming off a lot sooner. But it just started off with them. They washed it and had the jet wash on it, and it just took this patch off here, and then yeah, it just escalated from there. Quite risky. The only thing I'm worried about with this type of work is masking adjacent panels. When you go to pull the tape off, you've painted it and it's pulled off more on other panels. I have to be really careful with that. Might have to buy some cheap tape that doesn't stick very well. That might be the answer. So it's all cleaned up, ready to go. Masked off some areas. That being said, I'm going to get sand in. I'll film a little bit of the sand in, not too much of it. Get it into primer, and then obviously film the paint in. Right then, let's get cracking. Well, I reckon I might have to use 80.
Pardon?
Might have to use 80.
Why is that? Not coming up.
That's struggling a bit. It's feathering though. Might take the soft pad off.
120, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's taking a little while.
I thought you'd do that then.
Well, I'm gonna. I just want to get some of this off. Oh shit. Why will the clamp? Huh?
Did you take it all off down by the wing?
No, I'm about here. Just feathering it out there. I probably am. Well, I'm going to 180 the rest into that now, like the back. Because there will be a little bit of paint left at the bottom, I think. I just want to edge and what we do is we're just red scotch in there and just prime it as it is.
Where's that?
In this gutter, I'm not taking it all out of there, it's all hidden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right then, YouTubes, that's the Honda now, all masked up ready for primer. So it's all bare metalled, most of it. A couple of little repairs to do on the camp rails. It was all lifted from the roof and the rails. So yeah, they've been bare metalled all over, just feathered out a little bit. It does seem to be biting on these parts. It's a bit weird. Some areas it's biting, other areas it's not. So it's all completely bare metal, the roof. It's almost identical both sides. We've done. I mean, it's a bit tedious in the channels and stuff. And it's a bit of a risk, this job. It's got potential, this paint on this vehicle, to be coming off everywhere. If it's coming off here, then it's all the same paint, it's all original paint. Beautiful Honda original paint with a lovely finish on it. So yeah, bit of a risk on this job. Masking as well, there's a risk of more paint pulling off afterwards. So I've gone a bit further than what I anticipated in the first place, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a pain with this pan roofing. We've managed to get a couple of bolts out. I'm not removing it all, I just don't want the risk of, I know we'll probably remove as a whole unit, but getting it out and a risk of water leaks afterwards and stuff like that, or anything going wrong with it. So I've got a couple of bolts out of the back, so we had most of the headlining down, and it's moved down a little bit, and lifting tape has given me a good, decent enough gap for it. So primer wise, most of the jobs that I prime here are primed with Mipa 4+1 primer. You've got the array of colours to get all the grey shades you want. There's an array of mixing ratios, from like almost a spray filler mixing ratio to a high build to a compact, which is thinner, fast drying, wet on wet. So it's quite versatile, does it all. And it's great for getting levels and build. It's got a great build, so it's great for getting levels and a bit of shaping, and filler repairs is what it's great for, but it's not great for bare metal. It doesn't recommend going on bare metal anything more than the fist size. So when I use it on repairs and I have little bits of bare metal poking through, they advise to put Mipa Haft promoter on there, which is a universal adhesion promoter. So that's what I normally do, and I do all my, all my priming on my filler repairs and stuff like that. We use Haft promoter. Same if I've got bare plastic bits on plastics that we repair, again I put Haft promoter on there and use the 4+1. So this isn't ideal, that primer isn't ideal for this job, being all bare metal. I'm not dealing with any corrosion issues or anything like that. It's had all paint all over it. There was, apart from the top layers flaking off, there's no corrosion issues with this at all. So it's all been obviously removed, recently now. So It's been degreased a few times, I'm going to degrease it a couple more times. So it's really clean metal and I'm not tackling any corrosion. So I could half promote this and put 4+1 on it. I'm not looking, I don't need a real good build on this because there's, apart from these small repairs, I'm not looking to get any levels with it because it all feels great. It's all clean, original metal with, you know, barely any repair. So I don't, and the feathering out is all, you know, it's all seamless. So I'm not looking for a mega build on this. So there's other options. I've got epoxy. I could wet on wet epoxy. Mipa have got a wet on wet EP surfacer, which give it a coat of wet on wet as an epoxy. Excuse me. And then I could put 4+1 over that, which is great. That will work, no problem. I could do that. But Mipa have got another primer out, and it's good for these situations, and it's called Multifiller. So Mipa Multifiller it does what it says on the tin really. It does a multiple of applications all in one primer. So it's really good for bare metal, bare aluminium, great adhesion to it. It's got anti-corrosion properties, probably not as much anti-corrosion properties as your epoxy. And again, there's a variety of epoxies with Mipa. There's one good for filler, you know, for corrosion and filler. And then there's one that's like your industrial type, which is really tough, which can be left out and it's waterproof. So there's choices on epoxy and which ones you use. So this Multifiller, I've not used it much because, like I say, I've always used the 4+1 on most jobs. But I am using this as well now on jobs. It's great for jobs like this: bare metal, bare steel, bare aluminium, bare plastic, loads of different plastics it will adhere to as well. Can be used as a wet on wet and will adhere to factory electric coat without sanding. So it's got loads of properties. So it's loads of different products that you could use on jobs like this, all in one. And I know sometimes I always think, oh, the all-in-ones are never going to be as good as using all your separate products and all that. But it's supposed to be great and it's supposed to work fine for, and it'd be ideal for this job. It's probably got slightly less build than, from what I've used so far, slightly less build than the 4+1. Again, there's some choices of mixing ratios and hardeners depending on build level you want. So they've got almost like a surfacer. They've got it as a wet on wet mixing ratio, and they've got it as a plastic wet on wet as well. It's like all same product and hardener and thinners, but just variations in ratios. So that's what I'm going to use on this. They do it in light grey, dark grey, and it's save a process. The scratches on that job finished off in 180 grit on the steel, so it'd be great for that job. So this would be a good opportunity to see how well it works. Hopefully it don't flake off. But no, Mipa assured me that this is what it's for. It's to take a load of processes and having one primer that pretty much will cover all bases. But again, there's products depending on the situation of your repair, what you're looking for. Like I say, the 4+1's got a place because it's got such a great build. There's always pros and cons with all these different products, but this will be a great product for this job. You know, doing one application, get it all primed, get it all adhered to the metal. It's got protection, and it will really suit this job. So we're all prepped and masked. One essential thing, especially if you know, helping with adhesion to bare metal, is cleaning and more cleaning. So it's been pre-cleaned, solvent degreaser about 3 times. I'm going to again degrease it another couple of times. Every time I degrease the metal, you can see all black on the rag. So yeah, just want to get it super clean and get some of that Multifiller mixed up, and I'll get 3 coats on there, and that should be a plenty for this job. wings. Took off the wing yet, too scared to be honest with you. So this is becoming a bit of a disaster, this job. I've been a bit of a pickle, bit of a dilemma. I mean, I ain't repainting this car. We have got some less stickier tape. I'm starting to lose money on this job.